do.
Okay. All right, looks like we're up. Today is a special day, September 26th, Wednesday, which is a special meeting for the planning board. Normally, we meet on Thursdays. So the meeting is now open. We have a couple of short things to discuss. First thing on the agenda is the solar bylaw. We have to set a hearing date for a town public meeting, so that can go to the town meeting. And I see we have the solar bylaw. Marilyn, any new updates or?
There was a group of about 6 people. Burke was there. Marie Smith represented the selectmen. In fact, the second meeting, we have Richard Chavot as well. Kevin Moran from the Concom was there. Randy Buckner showed up at the second one as well. Who else was on the committee? I think that was it.
Steve Peck.
Steve Peck from the Economic Development Commission, as well as Carol Sullivan from the Economic Development Commission. So we had 2 meetings for this. We started with a sample that had been sent to us by the state and also some other communities. What it boiled down to is to kind of like, it is for large-scale ground-mounted solar voltaic installations. We are allowing these as of right in all districts except residential districts, all the residential districts and the farm and forest districts. Those will require site plan, special permits. That gives the planning board the right to deny if you choose, if you find that the solar installation somehow affects public safety or people's welfare. Some of the more, it's pretty much, it tells you what you're looking for when it's presented, the kind of information you're looking for. Large scale, the maximum can be 6 megawatts, which can be roughly 30 acres in size. We originally had a minimum of 25 kilowatt, but there was some discussion at the last meeting and they wanted to take that out of there. That went back and forth. I talked to council about it, but the selectmen made the option of taking it out. I left it in, and when I gave it to the selectmen, they took that out. I think their feeling was that this will give the planning board some authority over those that are ground-mounted within residential areas. If it's not in there, if you have a minimum of 250 kilowatts and you have somebody that proposes 200 kilowatts, you don't have the authority under the special permit to deny. So I think they put that in there as just, I don't think you're going to have projects like that, but it was some sort of safety measure.
So we have to set a public hearing. And looking at the last page, there's articles, 1, 2, 3, there's 4 articles.
Yeah, one is the solar bylaw itself, which is an article. It'll be a new chapter within your bylaws, Article 19. The rest are within your bylaws already, but they are needed to reference the solar piece, whether it's referencing the site plan review process.
Okay, so we're amending,
Yeah.
we're going to be amending some of our
Right.
existing bylaws.
Right.
So that's why we have
Right. Right.
four articles.
Right.
Okay. Any questions, Russ?
No, so we're just setting a meeting date for
Tonight.
everybody to come in and
Yep, yep.
talk about all this.
Right, and then if the public is interested on the zoning on the large-scale ground-mounted photovoltaic installation, then they can show up at the meeting. Will we have copies of this so people can show up maybe even before the meeting and pick up a copy? I think if anybody's watching at home, somebody's interested, I think we can just, let people let people know that we do have a
I
full...
don't know. We could put it on the website. Let me see if we can get it on the website.
That would be really good, too. And that way there, you know, they might, because this would be a lot for somebody to come in that night and read and try to understand it all, and I think it'll be, it'll, I think, answer a lot of questions. People will answer a lot of their own questions just by reading it. So if we make it available for them, that'd be great. Well, we're gonna put this on for October 18th. All 5 articles at 6:05. So for all those that are interested, this 5-page will be available at Town Planner's office, or we're going to try to put it on the website also. So that's scheduled for October 18th at 6:05. We have Whippoorwillow Estates. Whippoorwillow, this says Estates, this says Whippoorwillow Woods. Bay Colony Group, they have been in a couple of times. At our last planning board meeting, gentleman came in and asked about roof drains. I had told him to give us a letter from a civil engineer stating the soil types and why the roof drains would not work in the soil conditions. I do have a letter. I did state to Maureen that he was not, did not have to be present tonight because this was just, in my opinion, we were looking for this letter from the engineer to put in our file. So I guess, members of the board, this here is,
It certainly answers our questions. It
What-
tells us what the soils are and that the roof drains would not work properly anyway.
exactly. And now, I think, like we spoke several months ago, having a letter from an engineer to go into the file is more than just having the applicant stand in front of us and tell us the roof drains aren't gonna work, because now we have something to go back on. So if there are no questions, we are gonna have to amend the Whippoorwillow Estates plan. This will be a minor modification to eliminate roof drains.
Now, is this throughout the whole subdivision?
It is
Okay.
for the balance of the, what's there now. If they don't work, that I'm sure the ones that are already being lived in, the homeowners will probably, you know, like we talked about before, cut the downspouts and run them out if they're backing up. The ones going forward, we will see when, you know, when they're filing for a plan, they're gonna be filing, and they file a plot plan with the building department, and you're gonna see where their runoff is gonna be going.
So you will issue a minor modification at
To
the
the-
next meeting?
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure the building department.
Oh, he would need, yeah, I'm sure Dennis would need that, because when he sees an applicant come in with a plot plan. Now, I was gonna have and vote on a minor modification tonight with this in our hand for the remaining lots of Whippoorwillow Estates.
Well, should it be for the remaining lots or for the whole subdivision? Because if somebody's aren't working,
Well, the only reason why I said the remaining lots, because what's there is there, and I wouldn't want a homeowner to think that they're gonna call the contractor, he's gonna come and dig them up. Because do you understand what I'm saying?
well, if they're not working and somebody wants to eliminate them.
I don't have a
Well, they
I
go
don't
to,
have a-
they go to put a garage on, and the building department
Oh, I see
goes
what you're
there
saying.
and sees that they're not in compliance.
Yep, now I see what you're saying, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I agree then, that's, yeah, and if somebody wants to do a little addition, screen porch or deck,
Mm,
and they don't have the things hooked up, and
right.
you are absolutely correct, thank you.
Mhm.
Then I would make, I think you should make a motion for the entire Whippoorwillow Estates then. Past the and present.
I'm trying to remember, it's been so long. Did it all come in as one plan? It did? Okay. I'd make a motion then that, based on a letter from a professional engineer as to the soils at the Whippoorwill Woods subdivision, that we remove our requirement that that all roofs run off through underground leaching systems as they have proved ineffective, and that we allow them to either use underground or a general runoff onto the ground, whatever works for that individual lot.
Second for discussion. Now, just one point, too. I don't want people to think that, okay, well, when we're eliminating roof drain catch basins, they're not going to be working anyway, because once it fills up, it's just a bathtub. Because even at the last, second to the last paragraph, I guess, the site is served by 4 large storm water basins that are used as a combination of recharge basins for smaller storms and detention basins for larger storms. The basins are designed and accommodate the runoff from roofs, and so no charge to the basin size is necessary. No change to the basin size is necessary. So that was already designed, so it's not like they're gonna be flooded or anything. So I just wanted to point that out. So it was seconded, all in favor? Aye. So that is unanimous. And we have, for general business, which was we did the zoning bylaw, we set that one up, and that was for the 5, right, Maureen?
Yes.
Now we have adult retirement community bylaw amendment. And this bylaw amendment is for the 55 and older development at the
Corner of Pleasant Street and Pine Street, known as Berry Hill.
Berry Hill Estates. And what they are looking to do is to go to the town, the next town meeting, and instead of, they're trying to change, so one person in the house, let me rephrase this. Both people in the house do not have to be 55. Only one person has to be 55. So if there is a second person that it's a younger wife, or husband's 55 and lady, his wife or vice versa is 49 years old, they can't buy a house there. And they've been in a few times, discuss it in front of the planning board. The current, I believe there's 18 or 19 homeowners, and the majority of them agree with this change for their community, because it's a private development. And when they did come in front of the planning board, we were ready to vote unanimously to have it go through, but then we found that we couldn't do that, that it had to go through the town, through a town meeting process. So we're going to schedule this public hearing to discuss reducing, allowing one member of the household to be 45, and one member of the household has to be 55. And that's it. So we're going to schedule that one for October 18th also.
Yes.
And we'll put that one down for 6:10. Be right after the next ones.
Sure.
So we're going to put that, Berry Hill Adult Retirement Community Zoning Bylaw Amendment for 6:10. And that's October 18th.
And I would like to make it clear that it's a citizen's petition, so 100 voters have petitioned that this be voted on at the next town meeting.
Yeah, and from what I understand, they received over 250 signatures, yeah. So,
It makes it similar to what they have over at Pine Hill Estates.
is that what they have too? One has to be a 1/8,
Yeah, only one
155?
has to be.
No,
yeah,
Pine
we
Hill
have-
and Raynham?
In Raynham.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I've got a couple places over there. You'd be surprised how many times people come and one's younger than the other, but it hasn't been a problem over there. But
Yeah.
it does happen.
Well, with the bad economy, the way things have been, you know, I think for the town, in the town's best interests, there's 33 more lots. It would be nice, that's one of those developments that 10 years ago, 8 years ago, when this came in, we encouraged, because you have no effect on your school systems, you know, you still have the tax money coming in, you have no road repairs, no maintenance, it's all private. And it was, you know, it's supposed to be for people that are, you know, looking to be getting to their retirement ages. They have a nice community building that they can, you know, enjoy, and so, you know, I hope it does go through for them. I think it's a positive direction. What else? Anything else? Excuse me?
The request to accept Whipple Drive and Pleasant Lane.
Oh, yes, you went out there. Before I give you my 2 cents, would you like to fill us in? Is there anything?
All I know is that they seem to have made progress on getting the landscaping in, and they're landscaping the circles. They seem to be addressing most of the issues that we were looking at. One of the things that was out there with Roger, one of the things that he's going to bring up is that as you enter Whippoorwill Estates, the very first home on your right, there's a space next to it. I guess there's been a problem with flooding. And he was looking at one point for some drainage repairs or drainage solutions to that, and it has not been addressed. Now, I don't know if it shows up in any of the previous reviews by niche. I don't believe it does, but I'll have to look. So that's the only other thing that seems to be.
Okay, now looking at Nich's comments, this is the subdivision that had that retaining wall at the end.
Yeah, it's no longer there.
Now, my concern is that retaining wall was on the original approval plan process with a full design, and you know, I mean, it was cross-sectioned, it was done, and then the contractor didn't do it, the homeowner did it, we didn't accept it, we told the homeowner to take it out of there, it's totally, as soon as the town accepts it, that retaining wall now becomes town property, and we weren't willing to accept it because it wasn't very good. So, if that is not needed, this is like 3 years later, 4 years later, you know, I can't imagine.
It's on this list of outstanding construction items.
Right, and if it's not,
We need to determine if it's necessary, but then all driveway aprons need to be completed, all cul-de-sac plantings, all monuments installed. It seems to me like there's a fair amount of work to be done here.
Well, I can't find the driveway aprons that are a problem. They all look to be paved to me. I don't understand.
I don't want to hold up, I don't want to hold it up for,
Well, we just got this, so Matt Dacey has just received this, who is the person that's finishing this. So I would say, my recommendation is go ahead and post the public hearing, and we'll deal with these last issues with him.
at the public hearing, and then at that point, we can make a decision
Yeah.
if it's going to be endorsed by the, you know.
And Attorney Brennan's letter says he encloses 3 copies of the relevant portions of the subdivision plan. I'm not seeing anything here that makes it clear as to exactly what part of the streets we're accepting.
I have those, if you want to see it.
Okay. No, as long as, I mean, I don't need it in front of me, as long as we have it.
as long as we have that for the public meeting.
Okay.
All right, well, let's schedule a public hearing for that.
No, we don't do that. The selectmen hold a public hearing on this. On road segments. You have to recommend.
It's not gonna come back,
No, you're gonna send a recommendation to the selectmen for their hearing.
we're meeting,
When do we need to
Wh-
get this to them?
I think Randy gave us a date, the 16th, October 16th.
and when's our next meeting?
Before, next Thursday. Is it next Thursday or two?
So we have to get this to him by the 16th?
Mhm.
All right, then I suggest we put this on for our next planning board hearing. And I would suggest that Mr. Brennan, along with Mr. Dacey,
Yeah.
we notify them that, now that they have this letter, that
We have some work to do.
they either get moving and you have an answer for these things. If that retaining wall is not needed, then we need a minor modification submitted for that hearing.
The 4th?
Yep.
Okay.
Because if it's, like I said, we've gone back and forth several times for that retaining wall, and whenever we saw pictures, it looked like, something you saw out in the woods that they did in the 1800s.
It's no longer a wall, it's just they graded it and put some vegetation there. I was there with Roger today, who seemed satisfied with it.
And again, that's fine, it's just, I don't understand, something that simple, we spend so much time going back and forth with it, I don't know why it wasn't just done in the first place, if it was that easy.
Wasn't there problems with drainage around that cul-de-sac too? It was
I thought it
flowing
was
the wrong
the, I thought
direction
it
or
was
something?
the width of the radius of the cul-de-sac. It had to go, I think it had to go back so far or something.
Yeah, he wanted it off the town's, he didn't want the town to be responsible for the wall, that is Roger. It was too close to the edge of the road, or the edge of the cul-de-sac. So they have moved it back. Like I said, he seemed satisfied with it when he saw it today. He was more concerned about the drainage at the top of Whipple Park.
Okay, well, let's see if we have them in here for the next planning board meeting, and I would suggest maybe we notify Roger also. So if he has any comments, concerns that we get, so last minute, we're not getting a phone call. that He's not happy with something. So that's for the next hearing. And then I think at that meeting, we should be comfortable to give our opinion to the selectmen for their hearing. Okay,
We have some minutes.
we do.
Make a motion that we waive the reading and approve the minutes of Thursday, September 6, 2012.
Seconded.
Any discussion? Changes? All in favor? Aye. Marilyn?
That's it?
Well, I tell you, you are just so efficient these days. This is something. Boom, boom. Anything else, gentlemen?
Nope.
Can't believe we made our cameraman come all the way out here for a half-hour meeting, and he's itching to see somebody on TV. Well, again, this was a special meeting, and I guess we just had to get some business taken care of for the town meeting, and we will see you all at our next scheduled planning board meeting. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.